Hello everyone, welcome to or welcome back to Life or Debt. My name is Stephanie and this is my channel where we explore my life and my debt. If you are new here, it's been a wild ride and I welcome you to join in on the fun. If you are returning, you're looking at my paper going, hey wait, that's not the Budget Mom notebook that you had printed out this year. So after going through February, because today is February 25th, it's pretty much over. Let's be real here. After going through February, I realized the Budget Mom's notebook, which is right here, isn't really working for me this year. I just am having a really hard time because our scheduling has changed, our payment scheduling has changed, all of that stuff. So I'm going to take a page from my friend Jessie over at J Whackers, and I'm going to use her printables. These are her printables. This is an older set, so I will link them down below in the description on where you can find her on Etsy. But right now I'm just going to kind of go through the bills that we have to pay, what worked, what didn't work, and kind of bare bones fill out this budgeting schedule, okay? So here I will go through all of the pages for you right now. I printed it kind of funky. I didn't print it back and forth, so there's going to be some blankage. We got the calendar. I'm not going to fill this out with you because I haven't really figured out what I'm going to utilize this for yet. So you've got the calendar. And what I like about this view is that she calls it her hybrid monthly budget because you've got all of your bills and then it breaks it out per week right here, which I love. And then you've got the sinking funds that you're focusing on the week, any savings and debts. Can you see that? And yes, okay, perfect. So any savings and any debts that you might have. So, and then you go through and you have the sinking funds log, the transaction log, and your expense tracker and any notes. These are the notes that I've made for this month, so I'm just going to pull that page off to the side. And we're going to jump right into it with just the monthly budget. So pay no attention to the Budget Mom notebook that's open over here. I'm actually outside today. It's a gorgeous day here in Florida, so I am taking advantage of being outside with some natural sunlight and fresh air because it gets kind of stuffy. So a couple of things are changing for this month just because of some unexpected and additional expenses that we have coming up. So I'm not going to fill out the income as of yet because we're going to have to do some calculations, but we will go through and fill out what we have bills. Now, rookie mistake, I can't find my erasable pens, so I'm going in with a real life pen today. Wish me luck. So we've got the mortgage, which is coming out on the 1st. So we're going to say 3/1, and that's going to be $2,501. It's like $2,500.07. So I'm just saying we round up here. I like whatever buffer I can get, and then at the end of the year, if I have a big overage in my checking account, I'll just put it towards something. And then we've got lawn care, which is actually coming out on, this is not going to be in day order because they changed the date it's due, but that's fine. It's on 140. And our cell phone, which I actually have no idea what that's going to be, so I'm going to have to look that up, and that comes out on the 2nd. Amazon Web for Kyle's web page. He is a computer science teacher, so he has all of his like office hours and things of that nature and streaming services. Oh, right. I don't know when any of this stuff is coming out. So what I try to do and what we've been lucky enough to do is we are a month ahead. So all of this money comes in at the very first of the month and it's just automatically deducted out of our accounts. I will go in and oh, wow. I'm totally screwing all of this up. So we're just going to keep the flow here, and then I'll reprint this page because as you can see, if you're paying attention, because I'm clearly not, we've got the monthly, like the bill that goes here, and then the budgeted amount, and then this would be the actual. So this is the column I should be writing it in, but we're gonna keep the flow. So I have dates, and then I will adjust accordingly. So then we have Netflix, which is actually one of two services that we pay for monthly. Everything else we do annually. And this is $16. And then Lakeland Electric. And that is $140, which came in at a little less last month, so that was great. Omaha Mutual. And this is long-term care insurance that I got before I had a genetics test done, because I wasn't sure if I was going to have like mobility issues like my mother had. So Frontiers or internet. So anyway, I still pay for this because it's like a safety net for me. I might cancel it and just throw that money into like a mutual fund or something, so it can gain a little bit more interest than just sitting around, now that I know that it's a little bit more lenient. So that's internet is $75. We do not have cable. DK Fit is my running coach. I'm sorry for the sniffles, by the way. I am actually fighting off a cold because I have children and they love to bring home every single disease known to man. So that's great, DK Fit. And then Dropbox for Kyle and all of his big files is $12. And then Apple, I've upgraded to Apple One. We've recently gotten Thea a cell phone, so it helps with storage and it helps with all kinds of things. Like she gets access to certain subscriptions that I have, so that is $35 a month. And Adobe is also $35 a month. And our water bill is we're gonna say $120. And VSAC, which is the last debt that I have, which is my student loan, is $170. And my goal is to have that paid off relatively soon. I'm not really sure. Relatively, like within the next 2 years. Relatively soon. If you haven't heard, Kyle and I are getting married this year. So we are kind of saving for that rather than putting towards this last debt, because this and our house are the last two things that we have. And we're trying to decide if we want to make this our forever home and just pay off the mortgage as quickly as possible, or which right now we're not paying any additional money we have, we're putting into a refinancing fund, because our thought is once the interest rates go down, we're going to refinance, and we want to make sure that we have the closing costs for that. But again, these are all way down the line. Okay, I digress. So unexpected expenses that came up this month are our new tax guy, our accountant. I had to pay him, so that was actually $350. And then IRS. We have to pay to the IRS this year, pretty much because I sold property at the beginning of the year, and it's a lot less than I thought it was going to be, so I am grateful for that, but it's still a chunk of our savings, so that's going to be $6,450. So that's a humdinger of an experience. And then I'm going to do my envelopes. So I do everything on Cube Money, and I'm really promising to have that more laid out for you this month. I'm sorry, I'm just making sure you can see everything. So we've got food, and in March we have a couple of things going on. We're going on a cruise for 4 days, so we actually won't be buying groceries until the end, or when we come back from that cruise. So that's it's like Thursday, March 9th, because Kyle's on vacation and then the girls are on break the next week. So I'm going to keep my food budget. We're going to say it's going to be, because normally it's $900, So we're going to say $800 for the month. And then house and home, which I did a really bad job of breaking this off last month, and it just home and home. It just came out of the food budget again, so that's going to be $150. Kyle gets $200. Steph gets $200. Medical, I'm upping this because we have some additional appointments coming up for the girls and such, so I want to make sure that they have enough money to do that. So that's going to be $200, and then medical and fuel, that is going to be $200. And then the last one, just because it's over, where is it? Oh, I'm all discombobulated in these pages. Okay, so I just want to show you this. This over here is sinking funds. Obviously, I'm not like tallying through anything over here, so I want to see how much money I have left over here, and then we'll see what we can throw into sinking funds. And I might just throw like a line item right here, and then we'll break it off on another day. So I will be right back with a calculator. Okay, after much debate with a calculator, we finally have all of the numbers situated. So for the core bills, it looks like we're $3,854. For the IRS and tax guy stuff, it's $6,800. And then for our basic, like, everyday life stuff, it's $1,750, which is $1,750. So Kyle gets paid once a month, and that's about $4,400. I get paid twice a month, and that's $4,000. And then we're going to take out of savings, like our emergency fund, to cover this IRS stuff. So, and we're going to take out, we're just going to take out $7,000 to have some extra, because we've got some things going on. So, just because I'm no good with simple math, see, 8,007, so we're working with 15,400. So $15,400. That's actually okay. So from this, we've got 3,854 plus 6,800 plus 1,750 is, we're looking at a total of $12,404. So, and I want to see what the overage is to see what we're working for with sinking funds. So minus the 15,400 is $2,996. So almost $3,000. So we're just gonna go, where'd my sinking fund? Why didn't I? Here we go. So we're gonna put, just so I have it here, sinking fund total, and that's going to be $2,996, and we'll break that out. Okay, we won't be breaking that out today. I will wait until the end of the month to see, one, if I didn't have to dip into any extra, two, what's left over from the weekly spends, to see what I'm rolling over to the next month, and to see what I have coming in for extra sinking funds. So if any of that doesn't make sense, just leave me questions down in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer them, because I'm not really sure it makes sense to me either. But it's a work in progress. But seeing the month break out like this, I think, is really going to help me. Better so, just because of the way that we're getting paid, right? So when I do my weekly recaps, I'll have like it all down here. So that is kind of where we are now. I'm going to wrap everything up because I feel like that's all I got to say. I don't want to think things are like ever changing and ever evolving, and I am trying really hard to stay consistent and to stay on top of it, and it's really hard, especially since like it's easier not to budget now that I have an influx of cash, right? So I'm really trying to stay on myself and be diligent and make sure that my money is going where I want it to, not where it just happens to go. And I find that it's funny. Like, I guess I never really thought that it would be this hard to budget when you had money. Like, it's almost harder to budget now because when you didn't have money, like when I didn't have money, I knew I didn't have it. Like, I couldn't spend it because it wasn't there. And now I'm like, oh, I'll just steal from Peter to pay Paul, and you know, it's a whole other world. So there are new challenges. I still have bad money habits, and I'm trying to work on those. But I'm hoping, like, I've got some savings challenges coming up because I want to make sure that I'm doing things like that, especially with the wedding and stuff coming up. So more to come on saving challenges, I guess. But anyway, thanks so much for sticking around. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing and liking. I definitely would appreciate that. Any questions, comments, or concerns, especially if I did my math wrong, because it's happened before, please let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll see you real soon.